everybody, and welcome to New Consciousness Review. I'm Miriam Knight, and our guest today is Alia Dao, a sound healer and a spiritual guide who has been practicing alternative healing for 20 years. She produced a powerful CD called Awaken with Grammy Award-winning composer and musician Barry Goldstein, and I've just so enjoyed listening to it. Today we're going to explore Alia's extraordinary musical gift and learn about the daily meditations she offers called Cups of Consciousness. Welcome, Alia. I'm so happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It is wonderful to be here.
Well, it's a great way to kick off the new year. It's supposed to be, 2012 is supposed to be a year of heightened vibration. And since this is your area, tell us a bit about how you got into energy and vibrational healing.
I actually started my healing career about 20 years ago as a doctor of Oriental medicine, massage therapist, and then in 2001 I had an enlightenment experience lying on a sound table. So a sound table is literally a waterbed that has speakers underneath it. And so through the power of sound, and in this sound table session, my consciousness shifted, and I started hearing in that consciousness shift, I started hearing other sounds coming from the higher realms. I call it the spheres of sound, the spheres of healing, the angelic choir. And in dream time and in meditation and in my private practice, I started being guided by these angelic beings to start using sound to help shift people, their physical bodies, the pain, the consciousness. And then after about 2 years of working with these beings in meditation and in my private practice during healing sessions, I started dreaming about the whales and the dolphins, the master sound healers. And I was then urged to move to California and started studying with them and would go literally kayaking, and they would show up and telepathically communicate with me and show me how to use my voice in more profound ways to assist with the transformation of people's consciousness.
Wow.
a bit different.
Well, it's different, but more and more people are telling stories of having these spontaneous awakenings. Sometimes they come at the lowest point in their lives, and sometimes they come at a very relaxed or high point.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's happening more and more for people, and it can be really disorienting when you don't know what's happening. If I hadn't been in a sound healing session and had just been walking down the street, and within 30 seconds my consciousness shifted and all of the issues dissolved and different memories started appearing and greater awareness of other realms, there could have been a psych ward in my future. But fortunately, I had been in the realm of healing and knew about how the consciousness shifts when we're exposed to higher vibrations, and so was not as disoriented as some other people could be.
Absolutely. I interviewed Jonas Elrod a couple of weeks ago, who had this kind of experience and actually did go to a shrink and get himself very thoroughly checked out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And there's a ton of books now, fortunately. I think 20 or 30 years ago, it might have been a bit more of a lonely experience. But now with the whole New Age movement, a lot of these phenomenons, the weird headaches, feeling feather touches on your cheek, seeing beings, hearing voices, it's just an indicator that we really do live in a multi-dimensional world, that we are vibrational beings, and we're not alone.
Now, what did these beings tell you about the use of your voice? Is this your primary instrument in creating change?
I think it is. I think that we are all sound. As you know, we're all vibrational beings, and we all make particular sounds, and everybody that holds a specific consciousness has a specific sound that they're emanating. And when we're making a sound of pain, we literally magnetically draw to us pain. And when we change that sound that's happening within us, and even the sound of our voice, we then start shifting what we magnetically draw to us and the vibrations, the thoughts that we connect with, and literally live in. So yes, I would say that my voice is definitely a key component, but I also am very conscious about using my higher self. It's that energetic aspect of me, that I have energetic fields around me. We all do. And that is another major tool that I use, the higher self, using the energetic fields, and then my actual physical voice.
Well, it's all a continuum, isn't it? From sound to light. Mm-hmm. It's just different types of vibration.
It is, and I think that as we start to become aware of these other realms where we are expressing ourselves, we start being able to access different tools like the frequencies of light and sacred geometric shapes and sounds that perhaps are not happening in the physical realm, but we can actually have sounds happening in the higher realms. And when I speak about the guides that I work with, I really think of them as the angelic ones that are masters of sound. And the whales and the dolphins are also definitely teachers and guides for me.
That is so fascinating. If you've just joined us, you're listening to New Consciousness Review. I'm Miriam Knight, and we're speaking with Alia Dao, discussing sound healing and her CD Awaken. And if you want to call in, our toll-free number is 877-230-3062. Well, Aleya, you know, we do have a little sample of your toning to play for us. This is a sample from one of the tracks in your CD, Awaken, called Come Back. That's just magical. It really kind of transports you to a different realm. What were you trying to do with your music in this CD?
There's actually 2 CDs, and that comeback track is from my new CD that I'm still in the process of mastering and creating. And the Awaken CD that I created with Barry Goldstein in 2007, that Awaken CD that I created, and there are samples on my website, for that CD, I created the Awaken CD really for me in my awakening process, wanting to hear music that reminded me of that angelic realm. I call it kind of our spiritual family, our spiritual home. And so that was from the Awaken CD, but then that last track, Come Back, I am starting to now work with my music and the songs that I'm creating more as healing modalities. It's that place of remembering that we have this place of incredible connection inside of ourselves. We have this inner home, and it's about coming back to our true self, our true essence. There's no efforting there. There's no struggle. And so when I was singing this song, creating it, composing it with my pianist, George Friedenthal, it was from that guise of come back to yourself, come back to your essence. And then there are tones that specifically assist the vibration of a soul in coming back to that connected consciousness.
You talk about remembering, so it's creating like a resonance with a part of you that's sort of beyond your conscious awareness.
Correct. And that is the hardest part, because our worlds are so programmed for us navigating the world from the mind. And I was actually just having a conversation with my husband last night about how with my work, with my music, it's really not for the mind. It's for some other part of you. It's for your energy self, for your higher self, for this multidimensional aspect of you. And so in the beginning, it's pretty hard to market that, right? Like, this isn't for your mind. This is for your energy fields that you don't even know you have. And when we allow ourselves to receive these vibrations and these sounds in a different way, again, not watching them from the mind, it shifts our consciousness. So I know there's the whole thought of, positive affirmations, and if you have enough positive affirmations and say them all day long, it'll help shift your consciousness. And I actually tried that for a couple years, and it didn't really work for me. So I started creating different modalities and tools and using energetic protocols, energetic prayers, and tones like this music to help us shift our consciousness within 20 to 30 seconds so that we can release some of these old patterns that just are no longer serving.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Fast track.
I know. I'm totally programmed for efficiency. It's like looking at the behavior and going, wait, what I'm really wanting out of that behavior is to be connected. Okay, well, let's just move into connection instead of, insecurity or disempowerment or self-doubt.